Right, hello and welcome to episode 20. We made it to 20 episodes of the Last Place Fire Team podcast. I am your host, Chris. As always, joined with me by, sorry, my monitor looks crazy ugly and it's gonna bug the crap out of me the whole show. But joined with me are my two co-hosts, Yendi.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
And Alan.
Hello.
All right, and as always, I always have a burning question that the world wants to know.
Oh.
All right. Usually I do this or that. Last time I hosted, I tried to challenge Yendi. This time it's just going to be an ultimate question. Okay. So, say you're in your backyard, if you have one. In this sense, you have a backyard. Okay. A flying saucer comes down and lands. Aliens come out and said, "Hey, man, we want to show you the galaxy, right? We're going to take you away for what time for you is a month. Can't tell anybody. We're not going to tell anybody. You're just going to disappear for a month. Do you do it? Do you get in the ship?" Yendi.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You would?
Hell yeah. Straight away.
Disappear for a month?
I've been watching a lot of alien stuff. I go to sleep watching Ancient Aliens on Netflix. And I think I watched all 13 seasons. It's just something that I put on at night. Me and Anna watch at night, and it's just for background noise. But some of the episodes are actually very, very interesting. And we're both like, wait a second, this kind of makes a little bit of sense. This kind of like coincides with what happened at this point in time. And so yeah, I would go with Aliens, especially with the release of those 3 Pentagon videos recently. I don't know, man. I think the U.S. government can't hide it much longer. So they're starting to show people slowly but surely, so it's not a big shock. So yeah, I'd go with Aliens. Hell yeah.
What about you, Alan? Would you go?
First of all, a part of me wants to say yes, but can I really try? I don't know what's going to happen that whole month. Like, can we guarantee my safety? Like, is 100% they're not going to try to do anything to me? Experiment on me or any of that stuff.
First of all, they're not giving you the option. They're making you think you have the option.
No. They give
For all you know,
no, bro. Okay.
Took you.
Have you seen Paul?
No.
Have you seen the movie Paul? Okay. So basically, a Seth Rogen alien comes out. And he's like, "Hey, man, let's go for a ride. Like, I'm here to show you everything. You seem really cool, right? I personally would want to go. But I would be like, can I leave a note or something that says be back in a month? Something. Like, because I think it'd be kind of hard to cut. Like, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. And then I come back in a month. And then everybody's going to be like, what the hell, man? Like,
well, I mean, you have a wife that will be very upset that you're gone.
We had this conversation the other day, yesterday. And I thought it was a good one. That's why I brought it up. And she said she would go only if she could tell everybody. Like, me and her dad, and that's it. So
I mean, yeah, it's a good deal. I mean, like I said, I just can't guarantee my safety. Like, but I would love to see the galaxy. I just think that's one of the coolest things you could possibly do is like actually see the galaxy. So I mean, I would go, but I'd be very scared.
I'd be terrified too. I mean, I would be like first things first. Whatever you've seen on the planet before, I am not with it. All right. So
I do not.
I'm my own person.
If we're gone a month in our time, how long are we gone with the alien for? Like decades?
If a month is decades for them, then that's insane. It's not going to be like...
Time is different.
I know
their
time...
The galaxy time is different, you know?
True.
Way different. Because, I mean, time is different.
We can come back and nobody will be alive.
Oh, yeah, true. Man, that's crazy. I guess we'll never know. I guess we got to get abducted. All right. So... I was going to say some housekeeping things, but we don't really have too much housekeeping. We have a video coming out this week. We apologize for missing last week. It just things got caught up. Everybody's busy right now. It's a busy time. And if you guys haven't noticed, it is... oh, wait, Black Magic said something and I missed it. What do you say? Definitely going to give you a booty probe. Hold on, I'm gonna switch my glasses too. But if you haven't noticed, this week has been or this weekend has been E3. So all the top news. We thought it was going to be a big E3. I'm not going to say it was disappointing. I feel like a lot of these companies were not prepared. I know like throughout the year they usually have one team working on their presentation for E3. I didn't see a lot of we saw a lot of trailers, but usually they show like a gameplay of like I know whenever God of War was shown, they actually had somebody playing the game. Like you saw it and then it went straight into gameplay and everybody's like, "What is this? Like what is going on?" Freaking out. And I didn't see much of that, so I feel like nobody had enough time to make an E3 demo for the shows. But we got what we got. Overall, what do you guys think of E3 as a whole before we dissect it? We'll start with Alan.
I thought E3 was fine. I mean, I don't think you can do E3 live plays without people actually there.
Yeah.
And then you have like, the CEOs playing the games, and that's not as fun as having like, someone else teaching you throughout the games. Because I mean, they have so much other stuff to deal with. I feel Xbox and Nintendo were prepared. The other companies, I mean, it was a little tough. I mean, I don't even know why Capcom and Bandai Namco showed up, like in my opinion, because they didn't really show us anything or anything like
Worthwhile.
noting that was like, oh my gosh, like I mean, I in E3 in total, I didn't feel like had a lot of oh my god moments, which I mean, again, expected. It was a year, we had a pandemic and all that stuff. So I mean, I think Xbox did a really good job at showing what their future is going to be, even though like even if they didn't have like a bunch of wowing titles, like which I mean, not everyone, some people will find those titles wowing, but I'm saying like it was very much Game Pass centric. So it was like this is our future, this is what we're pushing. And Nintendo just gave us what Nintendo does. They throw us a curveball with the whole oh we thought the Nintendo Pro, I mean the Switch was going to show, and then they didn't show it. They didn't show Bayonetta, and then the years everyone's been crying for Metroid, they finally show a Metroid game, which no one was expecting, kind of. Which I'm excited for that. But like, and then you saw Breath of the Wild and things like that. So in total, I mean, I'm not gonna knock it because again, I don't. We weren't even expecting to have an E3 kind of. So like, for them to give us what they did and to like kind of put everything together, kind of works. I just wish that I wish they would have shrunk it more to just probably give like the titles. Like Square had a really good like a strong showing and stuff like that. I wish they would have made, and Ubisoft, I can't forget about them. They had a good showing also. Like, but I think they should have just gave it to those four, and then like Capcom, you knew you weren't coming with anything. I don't think they should even showed up, like in my opinion. But
I think they should do. I think they should have done like a bigger. Like I like what Nintendo does with Treehouse, how it's just like, hey, we just showed you the show, now we're gonna go into all these games, and it gives them a chance to show off the indie games and stuff like that. And I kind of wish, because there's a lot of indie games, and there was like an indie show that I still have to watch. But I wish they had like throughout the day, just have that playing, so we can see all those indie games in action. It kind of fills in that time, instead of the showcasing. It should have just been a lot more indie gameplay. But yeah, Yendi, what are your thoughts on E3 this year?
Oh, like I was telling you guys before we started, I didn't really see much of E3. I just, heard stuff through you guys or just through random articles I saw through Twitter. But it sounds like, and it appears that Xbox is the clear winner for this year because they came out with the biggest. Again, until PlayStation does their what do they call their
state of play?
I think it's gonna be state of play of
something. And I feel like it's not gonna happen because I feel like we just recently got a state of play and they don't want to tell us.
No, there's something else that they do. Something else to do it towards the winter time. There's named something else. I don't know if they've done it.
Yeah, but at that point,
last year or so.
Late.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that was one of the events where they announced, I think, God of War.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a pretty big event for PlayStation because they just came out with their biggest heavy hitters and just ruled it there. But it sounds like E3 should just wind down, stop doing this thing. It was
I don't think
virtual
so. I
this
think,
year, correct?
Yeah, I think they should get another year. I'm happy that after everything that we've been through in the past year, that they were able to do that. to get this out. So I
The
don't, like I
problem-
said, it wasn't terrible. It just was like lackluster, but I did have a good feeling of like, okay, I'm finally getting excited about video games again. Cause like this year has been dry and stale, and I just kind of been like, oh, what can I play right now and stuff like that. So
The issue that E3 is going to have, and we've talked about this before, is that they're just these companies don't need E3 anymore. It's just streaming services and getting your own content out now is so much easier that you don't need to have a whole gaming conference, which is why you had a lot of these big companies back out because at the end of the day, like if I'm not ready to show it, then I don't have to show it until I announce my thing. And then for like, which is what Sony basically did. Sony wasn't ready to announce anything. We saw Horizon, and that's what they were ready to show us because that's what they know is coming out this year. And then what ends up happening is even like Xbox, who told everyone last year, November of last year during launch, hey guys, like we're not going to have any exclusives until 2022, and people still complained when Microsoft showed coming in 2022. Like Xbox told everyone, hey, this new stuff is not going to be out until 2022, and people are like, why is everything coming out next year? It's like, did you guys, so like the whole point of E3 is kind of like to show you what would people, I think, take it as what's coming this year, and it's not the case most of the time. So I feel that these companies can now just do it on their own time and be like, hey, this game is coming out in the next 2 months, rather than you waiting for a year, and then you just get smaller shows broken down. So I think that's what the future is going to be.
yeah,
I
they
agree.
they don't have any packs or anything this year either, do they?
I think there's one PAX this year, and I think they might be
Is
doing
it
it
PAX
later,
Boston?
but maybe.
The one in
But
Boston?
again,
Okay.
it's also those things where it's just PAX will get a lot of like, even if they the reason why PAX is like semi-successful is because it's also a quarterly thing. Like
Yeah,
they have a different one in each section, so those game companies are
have a
just bringing
chance to be like,
games.
hey, we can't show it this one, so we
Yeah,
have to
but
show
they
it at the
also
next
just
one.
bring games that are coming out within the next month
Yeah,
or the next 4 or 5 months rather than like a year. Like Xbox, like I said, told everyone 2022, and then like that's what you have to expect. I mean, we got the Halo, well, not surprise, but they told us Halo's coming out this year. But besides that, everything else was both consoles, like Microsoft, Sony, are both all of their major heavy hitters are coming out next year. So that was just kind of the thing they told us already. And I feel like people went in with an expectation of seeing all this gameplay when none of those games are ready yet.
yeah. So with the show today, the plan is I have the list of games that we'll be talking about. Majority we're gonna be talking about Xbox and Nintendo. If you have, I do want to try to get you guys' like top 5 games that you were excited for or happy to see at E3 and what you're ready to play. But we'll start with I guess we can start with a disappointment. Like, let's start off with disappointments, all right? Things we didn't see. All right. You guys aren't gonna know mine. But we'll go ahead and start with Yendi. Is there anything that disappointed you that you didn't get to like hear anything about?
I would say probably
Indy?
another teaser of Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
You know, something tiny. I mean, technically we got something.
We got a little
through
small,
the
little
yeah
bit, little
through
tiny
the
thing.
Starfield
Yeah.
trailer, which is really cool.
Oh, was that confirmed?
Um,
I didn't know. I was watching this. I was doing the Starfield thing. I was like, I saw it on Twitter that was just like gamers or blah blah blah. The article was so I didn't even read it. But it was just like thinks there's Elder Scrolls.
I compared it to the map, and it looks like it lines up perfectly. So,
It does.
I mean, we may have gotten the you know the not the fucking I can't speak the location. We may have got the location of the Elder Scrolls 6, which is Hammerfell High Rock, which is really cool because you know you visit that in Elder Scrolls Online, and I can't wait to see it fleshed out if that happens to be the location. But I was disappointed for that, and like you said, Indy, I was hoping to see something else.
A lot of people were. A lot of people thought we were going to get a little bit more on Indiana Jones, or them at least mention it because it was mentioned through an article. And usually they're like, "Hey," usually they come out, they're like, "Hey, we know you saw the articles. Indiana Jones is being worked on." here's a title screen, and they'll just show you a title screen, at least a concept art of the title screen, you know. So
something. No Fable. We didn't see anything about Fable.
no.
Which I really like the Fable series. I was hoping to see something from that.
They talked about it, or they mentioned it. These are things that they mentioned, but Indiana Jones they did not say a word about throughout that whole
really?
thing. Yeah, I didn't hear anything. They did talk about Fable. They did talk about Elder Scrolls. And that was about like they just mentioned it. That was it. But yeah, what about you, Alan? What's something you were upset that you didn't get to see?
My major disappointment was Nintendo holding out on two things: Bayonetta 3, which I feel like, like there's already like Walmart's actually allowing you to pre-order it already, which was again, and that happened before their showcase, so it kind of threw, I think, everyone's expectation off because like usually when something like that leaks, it's like, oh shit, like you know what I mean? Here we go. So they didn't show that, and I think just not having any information on the Switch Pro was kind of annoying.
I think it's because I was telling Yundi earlier. I think they're being petty because I did see something that there was a GameStop leak for a pre-order for one. They accidentally released something early that was like you can pre-order the new Switch or something like that. People were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And it got taken down.
Yeah,
but also, I think the fact that everybody went through the patents and stuff like that, and they're like, "Hey, this is a thing," and even though Nintendo was just like, "No, it's not a thing," and they were trying to surprise us, I think they were just being petty and they were like, "Hey, they're expecting this, so we're not showing it. Don't show it.
Yeah.
We're gonna save it for a surprise treehouse later on in the year," and that's what they're gonna get. They could have got it at E3, but they were just too nosy and they couldn't wait.
I mean, but in today's media market, those things are going to get leaked regardless.
Well, I mean,
it doesn't change. Like honestly, all them by them being petty, all it does was just upset people.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't really benefit them. So like they can, and I know Nintendo's known to do things like that, but like again, it's just one of those old school mentality of thinking that where I do agree with Indy in those senses where they just think, oh, like like it doesn't matter, like we already know about it, show people it because people are excited. And then on top of that, the earlier you get it out, the quicker people can start pre-ordering it. So you don't
I was
have
ready
a shortage issue, like you know what I mean. So like I find it annoying that it's just, oh, we're gonna take this path, and then like again we're gonna go through the same cycle of new next gen releases where they're going to do it at this random time and not everyone's going to be able to pre-order it or try to get it, and then they're not going to have enough. So I thought that was pretty disappointing in my opinion.
For me,
yes, Nintendo was very disappointing in general.
For me, it was Beyond Good and Evil 2. I finally have given up on it. The fact that they didn't say a word or anything about it this year, it's just secretly canceled. It's not going to happen. I still get emails from Hit Record to make like music for the game, or like if I have any art to send to them for the game. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. And I'll keep my expectations low because maybe in the future if I do see something, great. But until then, I have no hope on it. Another thing was the Switch Pro. I told Yendi I was ready. I was watching the show and we got that. Or no, I was about to get ready to watch the show. I had the stream set up and we were playing games early, and I read that announcement of, hey, we don't want you guys streaming the show. And I was like, great, way to piss off everybody before your E3 presentation. Like, I don't get it, man. And then Twitch comes out and says, I mean, I didn't watch it on Twitch. I watched it on YouTube, the E3 thing. Because Twitch tweeted out, hey, our creators are not allowed to stream. Like, Nintendo doesn't want us to stream their E3 press conference, so therefore we're not going to stream it on our website.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, that's them taking a stand of like, you're not gonna let the creators stream it, then we're not doing it for you. So that happened, and it was just crazy to see right before their presentation. Like, you kind of went in with a bad taste in your mouth of like, dude, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why? Everybody loves this company and they hate to be loved. I don't understand it. I just don't get it.
And to add to what you're saying too, like I think also the timing is so bad. Like, why didn't you just do this last week so that people would prepare? Because like everyone's been having a good time, and that's why it sucked that they were last, like the last major one, because that kind of also puts a damper on E3 itself because Nintendo was this way. Like, imagine you're one of the big gaming companies that show up. Xbox has this whole like player friendly, we're all about the the players and the gamers and stuff like that. And Nintendo's like, oh guys, you can't stream it literally the day of the event. And it's
With
kind of like
there's
there was-
E3 streaming partners. I get an email from Twitch asking me to sign up. Like, hey, do you want to co-stream E3? Like they're doing it for all these creators because they know we love it. They know everybody loves it. So the fact that I mean, I wish I was in those offices with Twitch to find out how they felt about it, because I'm sure they were pissed. They were like, we have all these partners that are ready that have been streaming all weekend, and now they have to turn off the stream for something this big. So yeah, it was just bad. I mean, I got excited for some of their games, but yeah. Okay, before we go into no, actually, we'll go ahead and go into Xbox's presentation. What did you guys think overall of Xbox's presentation? Like, what did you? I thought they were, in my opinion, I thought they were very solid. I enjoyed it a lot. The only thing, and it's going to be the smallest thing, was every time they showed, you know, console exclusive or like first day on Game Pass, it was just a still image. There was no voice. I like the guy saying like, you know, world premiere and all. There was nothing, so it was just like quiet, and then the trailer would start. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh wow, yeah, I like that too.
Yenny, you gotta watch it, man. It's the presentation was good, but it just wasn't. They pulled back on the flashiness because the last E3, I remember they had everybody going on stage. Like I know for Forza, they had the car out there. I think Darwin Project was coming out that year too, or they announced it, and they had an announcer on stage. And I'll never forget it. It's like this guy standing there. The stage is green, and he's just like commentating this gameplay. And he's like, so and so has a bow, goes into the arena, like screaming. And people are like, what's going on? Like everybody's freaking out. So I think they held back quite a bit on the presentation. The stage looked cool, stuff like that. But it was just like they had the guy come out, or one person come out, say a little bit something about a game, and then pull them back. So I feel like they just kind of, I feel like I said, E3 felt like almost like felt like a burden on their shoulders. Like they were going through, they were like, we have to get this over with, and then we got to get back to work. So, well, what did you guys think of the presentation, Yendi? Oh no, you didn't see too much of it, right?
Yeah, but I know about some of the games.
Okay.
Just looking at the list of games, this short list of games, they definitely nailed it. But out of all the games that they showed and or announced, the thing I'm most excited for, hands down, is that mini fridge.
I told you. Didn't I say that? I put it.
I want that mini fridge on my desk.
I'm getting it
100%.
I love how they're so pro gamer, and they just have fun with it, because that whole mini fridge thing was a joke in the beginning. Yeah, and then they made it real, which is so cool, and it makes me actually want to buy one. I want to put it right here so I can just open it up and
How much would you pay for it?
It depends on the size, but probably like up to 100.
It didn't look that big. It looked like maybe a pack of maybe a 12-pack of sodas.
Some people got them sent out, and I think that was what they could fit.
Yeah, 12-pack. Okay,
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I pay a little bit, like 100. Yeah, around there.
But yeah, Xbox seemed like the more gamer friendly of all these that I've seen, and the games they're great so far, and I think we're getting 1 or 2 this year, and the rest are coming out later.
Yeah, have you? What games were you hoping to check out though? Like whenever they come out, what jumped on your list from the showcase?
Well, as far as Xbox themselves, that Redfall is kind of interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
People are freaking out about. Did they announce that last year? Because everybody's like,
no.
This was the first announcement for it, right?
This was Bethesda saying this is our. Well, the reason why it also took a big, like, people fell in love with it is because this is Bethesda's new IP that they were like, this is our new IP that you guys are getting soon. So I think it's 100% brand new IP. So.
That's and actually, that game was involved in a rumor about the next Elder Scrolls game. People thought the next Elder Scrolls game was going to be called Elder Scrolls Redfall. So that's maybe why you heard some murmurs there. But yeah, it's completely new, really cool. It's so nice to see completely new IP. Such a breath of fresh air compared to the BS that Nintendo's doing. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope that I can play most, if not all, of these games on my PC, and I don't have to buy an Xbox. So I plan to get a PlayStation. But yeah, ready to go, Xbox, Microsoft. You guys, I think you guys nailed it from what I've been seeing and reading. So yeah, good job. Halo 2. I'm kind of excited for that. The whole grapple hook and everything now. I don't know. I guess
I'm excited.
I,
As soon as
I
that
think it's
trailer,
what
we'll talk about this for a
it's-
little bit. So go ahead.
yeah, I think it's what Alan says about not introducing jetpacks. Because another friend of mine said the same thing. It's, oh, this is probably a way for them to avoid using the jetpacks because they know people hate that stuff. But I mean, you can get a lot of trouble with the grapple hook because it just breaks. It'll break maps, altogether. Traverse and all kinds of stuff. I'll wait. I'll see. I'm playing it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit
It's
here and
free
say,
to
oh, I'm
play.
not gonna play. Yeah, it's free to play. I'm kind of on the fence about the whole battle pass thing. It's just Halo's always been.
Well, this is the thing about Battle Pass. Before you talk about it, I did watch the 12-minute in-depth multiplayer. Right. What I thought was cool about the Battle Pass, you cannot. They say for now, right? I know Microsoft or the suits are gonna get their hands into it. For right now, you cannot purchase further into the Battle Pass. You have to earn your items. Any new armor you see, you cannot go all the way to 100 and purchase and spend like $40 and be like, oh, I got the Battle Pass and collect all those things.
I think my biggest fear, and I know it's a tiny thing, is the as I call it, the Fortnitification of the game. Like, I don't want to see Spartan 1117 look like a fucking unicorn with fucking a pink weapon rocket launcher. Like, I'll stop playing. Like, dead ass. I'll stop playing.
I'm sure they'll do.
That is not what Halo is, man.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure they'll do something like that because in Halo 5 they introduced, like, I had an assault rifle that was like, it wasn't a reactive skin or anything like that, but it was just like stickers on it and it was just like pizza. The whole thing was wrapped in like pepperoni pizza and I walked around. It was pretty funny.
It's just the beginning. There's only, bro, if they're gonna continue to do seasons with this, they're gonna run out of ideas. Eventually, we're gonna get into the very stupid Call of Duty bullshit, Fortnite BS. That's just gonna ruin the visual, and then people are gonna be fucking unicorning around with fucking farting guns and shit, and bullets that are pink, and I don't want it. I'll stop playing it.
What game doesn't do that?
What?
Apex.
I feel like it'll be, in my opinion, I feel like it'll be more like Apex.
We're on season 9, baby.
Yeah, I think they'll keep it around like Apex. I don't think they're gonna do like the tracer packs or anything special.
Let's hope not.
I don't think they will. I think to be honest, for Halo to do that, I feel like it's gonna be very complicated to do for them in general, to get that in there. But also the things I saw from, I'm very excited for Halo. The things I saw from the other things I saw, I'm okay with the grapple hook. Looks dope. I'm excited to use it. A thing that caught my eye is that they have a new Warthog, and it's called the Razor, right? So I couldn't explain what the turret looked like, but it looked like a 3-shot thing that kind of like, it was like 3 bullets like this, and it would come out. But the big thing about it was, like, you can get a power weapon, so like the gravity hammer, right? And in the back of the Warthog, there was a rack, and you could place the gravity hammer on the rack and then get in. So your Warthog can hold these items, and they were saying like it can hold the objective. So I'm assuming that whenever Capture the Flag starts and you're doing big team Capture the Flag, you can throw the flag into the Warthog and help your team protect the flag and get it across the map. And I was like, this is a cool idea. Yeah, I was like, this is
in the Warthog with the flag now.
Yeah, but beforehand, you used to just sit there and your guy was just literally like, all right, protect me. But also with the Warthog, like, it's cool that they did that, but the Warthogs have changed also because you can shoot the tire off of the Warthog. Like, it continuously takes damage to where you can't drive it anymore and it'll explode. So which is cool because back in the past, like, Warthogs, like, it took forever. If you
didn't take any damage.
Yeah, you just ran over people. You got So the fact that you can sit there,
it would be just moving.
Yeah, so the fact that you can sit there and hit and blow off the tires, and then they're gonna have trouble driving all the way through, is perfect. But yeah, that was a big deal. I highly recommend that if you guys haven't seen the 12-minute in depth talk about multiplayer, definitely look at it. What they're doing is going to be really cool. I'm very excited, and I will probably, like I told you guys before, this year I might not be playing Call of Duty. It's going to be a lot of Halo and a lot of Battlefield. So, Alan, what are I think I already asked you what you thought about the show. What were the big games that got onto your list that you're like, oh, okay, like besides Halo and Battle, like all those, like something hidden.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I loved the Xbox's show. I thought they did a really, and everyone's gonna be like, well, you're just an Xbox fanboy. That's not the truth. But basically, what I think Xbox did great, like besides showing all these games, is that they showed you why you should try to get Game Pass or at least give it a try.
This is the last chance. I feel like this is the last chance that they're telling you, like, try
let's
this
think
now.
about this. They showed 30 games. Okay,
Yep.
they showed 30 games. 27 of those games are going to be available on Game Pass. Like, that is insane to think about. That like you can get that much value from. You literally saw the whole E3 list, and there are 27 of those games are all going to be available. Um, so I think like that was a great way to push that. But Redfall kind of like took me by surprise because I didn't know I wanted it. I didn't know I wanted a vampire new IP co-op 4 players doing a bunch of stuff trying to kill vampires. So Redfall was a nice surprise. I was really happy with. I think the trailer of the day, even though it showed no gameplay, was the Outer Worlds 2
Oh
trailer
yes, that was perfect.
The way that and it fits that game so well because and then that was a game that I personally was worried about because I know Obsidian is with Xbox but they also took Bethesda in, so I was worried that maybe we wouldn't get another one or it would stop. So as someone who's played it, I haven't beaten it yet. I know Yendi has, but I haven't beaten it yet, and I like love that game. I think it was a better version of Fallout 4 than Fallout 4. Like, you know what I mean? In my opinion.
I like the comedy aspect of it a lot. I just enjoyed it. I think it will be the second one's going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Well, everything is an Xbox.
Yeah, but
I told you this. You don't spend $7.5 billion and not make these games exclusive.
A game that was on my list personally was Stalker 2, the Heart of Chernobyl. Is that I never heard of the Stalker series, so if it's the second one, there's a first. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But like watching that story, I was like, man, this seems kind of interesting. That kind of popped up on my list for the first time ever. I'm actually excited for a Forza. I wasn't into big racing games. I kind of fell off after Need for Speed back in the day. I used to play those, and that was about it. But I'm actually looking at getting a little, a wheel in here and playing that game. So I'm excited. I'm trying to look at it. What did you guys think of the still images of Starfield? Or not beautiful. The still, but the little teaser. Yeah.
I thought Starfield looked great. I mean, a game that's in pre-alpha, to look that way, like, I mean, if
insane.
I think I sent you guys those images of how like, and it just looks beautiful. Like I didn't. Just to have a game look like that, and I mean that game's coming out next year, so they're not even like, close to being done with it. But the idea, the premise behind it, I'm glad they actually showed us something, and it wasn't like what we all thought was going to happen, where they weren't going to show us anything. So I'm glad they did show us something. I think it's going to be, I mean, as long as they can get, I don't know exactly we still don't know exactly. We kind of have some idea of what are the things we're going to be doing. I know you can play in first and third person view, which is going to be very
Fallout,
Skyrim like, and Fallout like. It's going to feel like that, which is great. And you always love to have those kind of feelings in a Bethesda game because once they're really working on it and taking their time. And I mean I'm excited for that game. I am going to enjoy play. Like hopefully it's good, and I want to enjoy it because I love Space Odyssey missions and just being in space. And if you can give me space Elder Scrolls essentially, like, what I mean, where it's just like I'm doing more techie stuff and things like that, I'm all for it. So
whenever I watched it, I was like, this is the first time I don't feel like it's a Bethesda game. like looking at it, I was like, okay, cool. It doesn't look like Fallout and it doesn't look like Skyrim to where the engine is or anything like that. It looks like it's a completely new thing. Um, did you guys think it was kind of weird that, I mean, a lot of people thought it was weird online how Starfield's committed to a release date and then Halo still had 2021, like holiday 2021. So we don't know if we're going to get it in November or December. You know what I mean? So what did you guys think of that? Do you think we get Halo early, or do you think they're just kind of holding off until the last minute to announce it? Like
I think they're
Sony's
playing
been
it
doing,
safe,
yeah,
personally,
just in case.
because I mean, I do enjoy that Starfield gave like a solid date, but now
Which
that
was a
gives
cool way
them-
to show that date, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope. It was a nice touch.
It's also going to give them more pressure to make sure it comes out on that date.
Yeah.
Which is why with Halo, like, because I mean, Halo gave us a date even before, you know, before they decided they were going to push it back. So, I mean, giving 2021 gives it a nice safe space, because then you can, even if the game is done, you can be like, well, let's see around what time Horizon's going to come out, and let's see, like, we can kind of play the field. We can say holiday 2021. Let's see if when the Switch Pro is going to come out and things like that, because they don't want to like really like, you don't want to have same day releases and stuff like that. So they just kind of want to have people focus on the Halo aspect, but also like you're doing free to play multiplayer. So like I'm sure they want to try the betas out and to make sure like we can get the crossplay to be like the way that they want it to be, which I know, which is what the Master Chief Collection essentially was doing also, was making sure these servers are going to work properly and stuff like that. So I think not putting a solid date isn't like a bad thing, because like if it's not ready in November, then you could just push it back to December and you're still fine. So
Yeah, and then so from my understanding, multiplayer is free. You're gonna have to buy a campaign. So how much would you guys pay for a for just the campaign? I think it's open world, right? And it's probably gonna be co-op. Has to be co-op.
Probably.
But-
Yeah. Halo's always been co-op. That'd
Yeah.
be stupid of them not to do it. If they're smart, I'd probably do it for like $30-$40.
Yeah.
So I think there was a game similar that did it that way as well. I don't remember which one it is, but I think Alan hit it right on the head when he said what he said about it. I think they are waiting to see what PlayStation does with Horizon. If they release it, you don't want to release Halo around the time that Horizon comes out,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that is a big player, which will take away a lot of people, you know. So and then also it doubles as a failsafe to, you know, give more time to work on taking out those final bugs, or like game breaking, test more if they need to. But I'm gonna guess and say that's gonna be end of November, probably like November.
I want to
The
say Black Friday.
the last Tuesday of November. That's my guess.
I want to say
But-
Black Friday ish.
Maybe.
I want to say like that that weekend, because especially because
That week
like,
everybody's
Thanksgiving
off. That'd be
weekend,
nice.
everyone's off, and if it's free to play,
Oh.
you can, you know, everyone can jump in. But the problem, of course,
Is
doing
everybody
that
jumping in
is
on
that
once?
everyone's going to hit the servers at the same time. So Microsoft, please do not do what everyone else does. Do smart stress tests so that day one the game works.
Well, they're doing
Because-
flights. They are doing flights. I signed up for one.
Yes.
To see if I can get it. But
that's the problem though. They don't need they don't need to do this selectively.
Yeah.
There needs to be a week where everyone has access to it and everyone can jump on at the same time.
a week that you
way-
can that you can say like, hey, it's a beta. So like, of course
They
it's
need
gonna
a
break.
weekend where it's, hey, listen, this game might not work, but we're testing it to make sure that when the game does come out, it's going to work. So as many people as you can jump on our servers. Tell your friends, tell everyone who plans on playing Halo day one to jump on these servers. Xbox, PC, I don't care. Just get on these servers and let's hit this as if it was the game coming out. Because if you do it the weekend prior, like the weekend before it, everyone's gonna go in knowing, okay, this is a stress test, this is going to work or it's not going to work. No one's going to be upset. But if you do it day one, you're going to have the same results that we've had for every day one title that has multiplayer, and no one's going to be able to play it, and everyone's going to be upset. So I hope Microsoft really thinks about that and they go, you know what? Let's just let everyone have access to it, even if it's a day or like even if it's 12 hours. Just give everyone access to it so that they can hit the servers as major as they can.
That got me thinking. Has there been an Xbox or Microsoft exclusive game that has a multiplayer side that has spectacularly failed at launch?
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, the
Was
Master
it?
Chief.
That
Did
was
it?
the worst release they've ever had. It was
So it was just unstable.
it was
Is that
just
what
it
it
was broken for months. Like nobody could play it
Oh.
for
But
the
that was-
longest time.
That was why it was a good test though, because
Yeah.
the thing is that's why like I know that for a fact Master Chief Collection was a test for Halo, like for this Halo, because because this was the first time they were ever putting PC and Xbox to integrate on a Halo server. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that if I know if they're different or not, but I'm saying like this was the first time they were able to do that, which is why, if you remember, also they didn't release Halo 2 first. They released like they did Reach first because they wanted to make sure that by the time they got to 2 and 3 that those worked fine. So they did Reach first and then did the other games to make sure that they worked. So I think this is a whole test to make sure that happens, but like I said, the week before they still need to do that test.
Yeah. And then I think I am gonna buy the campaign when it comes out. Whenever they talked
will,
about that
sure.
new Warhog, they also said like, hey, you're gonna be able to use this Warhog in your adventures in the campaign also. So I'm thinking that the campaign is gonna be, excuse me, like ODST.
Wait. You said buy the campaign?
Yeah.
They're separate.
It's separate.
It's not going to be included in a Game Pass?
You know, yes,
Oh,
it is,
it
yes,
will.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like,
No, I'm talking. That's for PC. If you, and again, which is makes no sense. If you have a PC, just get Game Pass. It doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to even pay for the thing. But if you want to buy it on Steam, because all Xbox exclusive are also going to be released on Steam on the same day, also.
Yeah,
So,
and it looks like the way it's going is some of those games that are like, oh yeah, console exclusive. When like what was that we had an issue with? Like MLB, like you can only play it on the Xbox console itself, it on their Game Pass instead of the PC Game Pass. I think they're slowly starting to phase that out where it's just gonna be like, no, it's gonna be on Game Pass.
The show was because of PlayStation though. That was
Yeah.
because they could MLB could only get them to get the rights to get it on a console and not PC. So
Yeah.
that's why we're happy with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be in Game Pass for the long haul. What did you
Ain't going
guys think
nowhere.
of the Battlefield multiplayer reveal?
Yandy?
Yandy, you can go first.
oh, I was super excited. Very, very excited. It seems to be everything that I've wanted for the last, what 10 years, however long it's been since Battlefield 3 came out. But it looks like a mix between Battlefield 3 and 4, which are my two favorites, with 3 being number 1. The first trailer looked absolutely nuts. Man, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I've said it before, I'll say it again. DICE makes the best game
Ever.
trailers. Like,
Ever.
period. They just know how to hype you up. Especially so, even if you're not a Battlefield fan or player, that thing still hypes you the hell up. Even if you're not an FPF player, you'll look at him like, damn, okay. But then I saw the gameplay trailer, also very excited, until I saw that stupid grapple hook thing.
Oh gosh.
And then I realized that there are specialists in the game, and then that there's going to be bots in the game, and that Conquest is going to change slightly. Now, instead of just 3 flags, or up to 5 flags, there's going to be sectors with 3 different flags or so. So that part is pretty exciting, but I hate that they change up stuff that works. Stop changing stuff that works. They're bringing Rush back, which is nice, and Breakthrough, really cool game mode. Can't wait for that. The maps look beautiful.
I like how they started off. If you
good.
guys go back to whenever we talked about Battlefield, and I was like, man, I remember playing Battlefield 3 and getting to an edge of a cliff and everybody jumping off, and I was just like, wait, what? And that's how the trailer started. Everybody ran to the edge and jumped off, and I was like, no way.
Yep, that's Domovan Peak version 2.0, baby. But no, that one's actually in the Arctic, and it's so cool. Just the maps are so varied, and they look so badass.
Yeah.
One thing I did not see that I was hoping to see, and I think they're going to show at the EA Play on July 22nd, was the destruction. I want to see more destruction, and I want to see if Levolution is back. I know that they have like a storm system, which is cool. There's a tornado that will appear randomly every game. It'll never be the same. It's not scripted. So that's really cool.
That's
You'll
gonna
see a
piss me
damn-
off because I know whatever game I'm
Yeah.
in, it's gonna be me. Every time, like, oh, here it is, of course.
And I know that some people didn't like Levolution so much. Like for example, in the Shanghai map, I forgot what it was called. That skyscraper fell straight down, and
Yeah.
it got rid of one of the points there, and then it changed the map permanently. And people hated that. They liked the full map with the building still up. And after all, I did become one of those people that I'm like, oh great, here we go. We have to wait like a minute or two for the building to fall down. Like you could tell when it was happening. You could hear noises, and very cool event. Every single time it happened, badass for sure. But the way it changed the map permanently was kind of like eh. And it seems like that's still going to happen in Battlefield 2042. Uh, Also very worried about that robot dog and, like I said, the specialists. Now anybody can have any gun, any gadget. It doesn't matter what you play. If you're assault, if you're recon, engineer, support, you can have any gun, any gadget. And it kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm gonna wait to play it, but it being multiplayer only also surprised me that they would do that. And then I guess they have a yet unannounced game mode coming out later on in the year. Some people are speculating it's going to be battle royale, but we don't think it is. It's actually, from what I've seen, it's a kind of like a Battlefield nostalgia. They'll bring back the very popular maps like Grand Bazaar and Operation Metro, just the classic Battlefield maps and game modes and all that. They'll bring it to the game. And then the other game mode, Hazard Zone, which they're going to talk more about on
July 22nd.
EA Play.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. It seems like they are going, full throttle with this. Another season pass stuff, battle pass, which you know how I feel about that. I won't go any further into that, but it's still Battlefield. I hope that the awesome gameplay, the mechanics, the gunplay is still there. It's still good. I don't want to be killed by anything that isn't a weapon. That is my biggest thing. That's it. Because at that point, it's just like the cosmetics. It just starts to go downhill. If I'm not killed by a weapon, I don't want to play your game. I don't want to be killed by some bullshit ass XD car or whatever, or just if it's not a weapon, get it the fuck out of the game. At that point, it just becomes Call of Duty. Okay, we don't want that. Just focus on vehicles, gunplay, making great maps, great game modes. Period. Overall, my hype level is still way up there. I cannot wait for October 22nd, and I hope the other thing they haven't mentioned yet is if the game's gonna be crossplay or not. And I absolutely need that to be a thing because most of my friends that I play are on the console still. They still refuse to upgrade. So once they announce that, I'm all in. I was gonna buy it. I was gonna pre-order it, but
I'm waiting till July 22nd, and then
I'm gonna wait probably till the day of. Or you know what? What's gonna happen here?
No, you gotta pre-order for that beta, bro. That beta.
Exactly.
Come on,
That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna be like, hey, you can play the beta. I'm like, fuck, okay. So I might as well not even prolong it and just get it.
No matter
now,
what, yeah, you're gonna get it. You gotta give it a chance. We got to.
Yeah, but $70 for just multiplayer, that's gonna be a big pill for some people to swallow.
Play Pro.
Yeah, true, that's true. Yeah.
You said $70?
$70. It's a full price just for
Why?
multiplayer.
Why is it 70 and not 60?
That's the next gen price. Yeah. That's a new norm now.
Yeah.
True.
It's not coming out on
Okay.
Is it? I don't think
it's coming out on this current gen consoles and the last gen with limited.
Personally, me, I don't think the bots are going to be an issue, and I only think it's going to be an issue for the giant, the game mode, the big leveled game modes that have the 200 or however many people they. How many?
Is it 128?
Yeah, I think that's the only game mode. So the game modes that I normally play, I don't like the big teams like that because it's always one guy climbing the tallest building and sitting up there with a sniper rifle, and I'm just not going to deal with it. So I like a lot of smaller team games, especially like Conquest and stuff like that.
Conquest is big boy game.
Is it big?
Oh yeah.
Is that the one that you're pushing? You're pushing them back, or no? What's Rush?
That's Rush, where you have a MCOM that you have to blow up.
Yeah, the two sites, right? And then you push them back. That I will be playing that a lot. So
Yeah.
I asked off for that date. So expect me and Yendi to be like little kids and staying up late, and we will be playing the mess out of the game day one. Um, uh, I forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh, did they show any? I don't. I gotta rewatch the trailer again, the gameplay trailer. Did they show anything of what the gun looks like what the first person view looks like? Like you're running around, you're actually scoping in on a gun, like what it look like. That kind of
They
interests
showed
me a
a
lot.
tiny bit of it in the gameplay reveal, but not very much. I
Gotcha.
think they only ADS like one time. They did show the in-game attachment changes that you could do like on the fly, which was
Oh yeah,
really
that's
cool.
really cool. Yeah, I thought
That was
that was
badass.
pretty cool.
So
I don't think you should. I think there should be like a zone. Oh no, they should do it the way they do it because if there's a zone, somebody's gonna camp the zone. I'm already thinking that. But yeah, I like.
I'm calling it now. I think there's gonna be a lot of balance issues, like really bad balance issues right off the bat,
which is
and that
why
grapple hook is gonna be one of those things that's gonna mess up
which is
gameplay.
which is why I think they're doing multiplayer gameplay, like multiplayer only first, because I not to say that maybe like down the road we might get one, because I think after this battlefield I think they're gonna take some time to work on this battlefield and not come out with a new one for like at least like 2 or 3 years, maybe. Like you know
It's
what I
probably
mean?
gonna be a Warzone equivalent. I'm
Yeah, I
assuming.
think especially because now if you make it multiplayer, you can just focus on that game itself, and then even if you do make a new one, I mean Titanfall. This is what Titanfall did. Titanfall 1 legit just made was all multiplayer, and people weren't ready for that, and then they complained about it, and then Titanfall 2 came out and then gave us one of the best campaigns ever. So I think they're taking that route, which is what's got me excited about Battlefield, because I feel like they're taking little Titanfall things, and like if you take a little Titanfall from anything, I'm there. So I feel like a lot of that stuff is getting like I just I'm happy because I feel like Titanfall is finally getting its recognition. And I mean, what perfect I feel Battlefield is a perfect game to expand that, like that though the things that Titanfall did great. So I'm not as big as a Battlefield fan as like the guys are, but like just to know, like seeing that trailer was to know that that game is in pre-alpha and it looks the way it looks is very exciting. Just because like tornadoes and I mean like everything was going on. If you haven't watched that trailer yet, like anything you could want in a future like semi-futuristic style like war thing happening is that's exactly what you want. Like people just jumping out of planes, jumping off of cliffs. Like it was insane. I enjoyed it a lot, just the trailer itself. I do agree with Yendi though. I think the destruction, especially now, they should have no excuse because now with these next gen graphics and next gen, you know, graphics cards and things like that, like you should be able to push these cards harder now because there people have these better cards now, and I know that's a huge graphic thing is to like have like destructive worlds. So I think now that people are having this equipment, that should be a thing now. Like make those things blow up because like nothing is cooler than like you're in a whole war and like if someone has a tank and they shoot the building should fall after like 5 or 6 shots. So like or however much it takes, you know what I mean? But I think that's something they should add because then
I,
it does. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen because
Yeah,
Battlefield 3 had it and it was awesome. I'm wondering why they didn't show it. Usually that's a really big
I think they
factor
just really
in
wanted to
their
show. They
trailers.
wanted to show the weather aspect because they didn't just show the tour. Am I wrong that I saw a sandstorm also? So they were.
Sandstorm
I,
also,
I
yeah.
think so.
Yeah, they
There
Yeah.
was a
went. They
sandstorm.
drove into a sandstorm, and then everything
Yeah,
got like
like
really did. You couldn't see
yeah.
anything, and it was
Mhm.
really cool. And I was like, "This is dope." So they were really showing. It's kind of like when Just Cause 4 was releasing, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We put a tornado in the game." They're like,
Yeah.
"Look," and they just
I
showed
just
every angle of this tornado. I think the weather was a big factor for them, and they're like, "They've already seen the falling buildings. They know we can do
Yeah.
it. Let's
yeah.
show them the
Well,
weather." So
I found that really strange because that is one of the things that Battlefield is known for, and
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
the map destruction and being able to come in with a certain look of the map, and that at towards the end you don't recognize anything because buildings have been shot down. The and one of the best things you can do in Battlefield is killing somebody with the building debris, like just shooting at the top of a tall building and see it fall and boom, take out like a squad.
But Yandy, I thought you said you
I'm
didn't
a
want to
little,
get killed unless it's a weapon.
hey, that's environmental kills. That's cool, you know, that's cool. But yes, touche, you got me there. But I I find a little bit worrisome that they didn't show it as a highlight in the
But
trailer.
like I said, in my opinion,
really
I think
big.
it's like just how you said. You're like Battlefield's known for. That's in my opinion that would be like the meeting. It's just like is what you said is why I don't have to show you. You already know it's gonna be there. So we can show.
Yeah.
Like I think they'll show it at the EA Play
Yeah.
thing. I think that's when you'll see it.
So-
But for right now, they want to focus on the new thing that they put in the game, and that's the biggest new thing.
And to add to Chris's point, also, like I think it's just like they want us to be like talking about like majority of the audience to talk about the new thing of the game,
Yeah.
so that you're excited for the newest thing that's happening in the game. And I think because that is the newest thing, and again, this I think they picked the perfect timeline. I mean, Battlefield has done like all these pre-steps that it's taken has all been good in my opinion. It's all been great. It's all been things that makes us excited. I think they picked the perfect timeline. I think they picked the perfect timing for this game to come out like in October. I think like they have nothing standing in their way. So like I really want this game to succeed because again, it's just competition is the best thing that can happen in these situations. And if Battlefield knocks it out of the park, like that means every game is going to be like, yo, we need to step it up because
Yep.
people will play Battlefield and they will not stop playing Battlefield if it's great because that's just what Battlefield does. So
Yeah.
I think they're on the path of knocking it out. They just need a strong finish. I think that we'll see more in July with the EA Play stuff. I think we'll get like a heavy like gameplay and we'll get like developer speak and things like that. And I think we'll probably get a beta in July too. I think.
Yeah.
I kind of hope the game flops in the beginning, so we don't get an influx of the COD noobs coming over.
Oh my God.
They're not gonna
No.
pay. It's not free. It's not free to play. It's not free to play. So that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about with Halo. Like I'm glad Halo's free to play. It's gonna be fun and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get a lot of annoying people.
Yeah,
that
but
are
they're
in
not
that
going to
game.
be good because they haven't played Halo.
True. So
True.
I'm ready. Just a little bit of I also wanted to point out this is the first time that Call of Duty has not shown anything.
Nothing.
Usually the way it works, the formula, the way it works. April we get the teaser, like rumors and stuff like that, gets announced. And then E3 is usually the multiplayer reveal, and people are playing it. So yeah, there's not. Like I said, Halo and Battlefield will have me this year, so it's gonna be it. So
if they really come out with another World War II game,
it better be Modern Warfare. It better be Modern Warfare Remastered too. It better be MW2 Remastered, right? I'll play a little bit of it, but it's still not going to be enough to take me out of the other two games that I mentioned.
I honestly think it would be a bad year for like. I think COD just needs to.
They need a break.
Warzone. I know. No, what? That's what I'm saying. I think they need to stick to Warzone because this year, if these two games succeed, it will not be the best year for them to release a new game anyway. Especially when you have something that if they can like do something to like completely fix Warzone, I think that's what they need to do because again, if Halo hit like because I feel like it's a win-win for them anyway. So like if Halo and Battlefield both flop and Warzone it like gets this big revamp and is just fixed and is great, people are still going to be playing COD and still be paying for it. But also like if you put your money into that, like it's a game that's going to be running long term anyway. So why come out with a new game and then even if these games are great, you still made your money that you made way more money than you thought Warzone was going to make anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like why even take the chance of trying to release something that, you know, especially if you go back to World War II, where both of these games are now definitely in the future. Because I mean, Halo always been in the future, but now Battlefield going into the, like, you know, the perfect. I always think right before futuristic, like Battlefield, like this timeline is the perfect thing because you can have futuristic stuff, but it's not too crazy to where it feels like the game is like Advanced War, freaking the COD one, that Infinite Warfare, whatever that one was, where it was just too futuristic. Like because everyone thinks they want too futuristic in those type of military style games, and you don't. You never want it. Like the futuristic gameplay is meant for like Halo, and that's it. And it's the only game that it works for. And besides that, like because that game was designed to be that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like anytime you try to go too far in the future with the war style games, it never works. So I think COD needs to just chill out, see what happens, and then if they feel like they need to release a game, release it next year.
I agree. So we have spent a lot of time on that. So we're just gonna rapid fire through a couple games. If you have something to say about it, just let me know. As we get to Nintendo, okay. So there was another thing that was announced was Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Anything on that? Did you guys hear about that? Are you guys Borderlands fan? I know Alan, you're a Borderlands fan.
Yeah, I like Borderlands.
I think it'll be all right. They didn't say too much on it. They just announced it. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Diablo 2 Resurrected?
I mean, Diablo 2 is probably one of the best. That style of game is just it's one of the best roguelikes ever. So I think it's smart for Blizzard to do that, especially if you're gonna have people wait another year for Diablo 4 anyway. So why not just have people play Diablo 2 for a year or whatever? You're pleasing both fans because a lot of people who haven't played Diablo, that's a great introduction to play Diablo. And a lot of the older fans who just wanted their graphics updated so that they can continue playing Diablo can just play Diablo. So I think that's a win-win for Blizzard.
All right. And also, you guys know I'm still on that bus of Game Pass coming to Switch. This might be something. Just gonna put this out there. Okay, I'm going through my list. I was gonna ask you guys what you thought of a Plague Tale.
That game looks great.
It looks like a really cool game.
The first one was good.
Platforms. Let me read you these platforms. PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch in parentheses cloud version.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh,
That you know what's funny? There's a
Go
yes.
ahead.
So that's now that you bring that up, that's a thing that's happening because what game? Not only that game, but it's a game that's pretty big that I would just like. It's not going to be. They said it's not going to show up on. Oh, Guardians. That's what it is. So Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
is going to be. They're gonna. It's coming out on the Switch, but as a cloud version. And I saw that and I was like, that's very interesting that they are like now saying
So, yeah.
like just willy-nilly about it. So
Unless they're doing
I'm
Xbox
interested to see
game
that.
or what did they announce about what is the thing that you could play on your phone and stuff like that? xCloud.
xCloud?
Because is that what
Yeah.
they're putting on TV on smart TVs and stuff now too, or was
Yeah.
it Game Pass?
They're putting xCloud, which is now associated with Game Pass.
Okay,
So like
which I'm
if you
excited
have
for.
Game Pass, you already have xCloud. So
Yeah,
it's gonna pretty much be like what Luna is essentially,
Yeah.
or what you know what I mean, where you can just put like plug in your control, not plug it in, but have a wireless Xbox controller, control it to your TV, and then start playing.
yeah, but
So-
that's Switch parenthesis cloud version. Come on, I was like, hold on.
yeah. I don't understand what exactly that means. Like,
Contraband. I don't remember much about. I didn't seem too interested. Oh, it was the co-op game. Looked all right. What's another one? Monster Hunter Stories 2, Rising or Rings of Ruin.
Don't love those kind of Monster Hunter games.
Life is Strange, True Colors. That looked good.
Eh.
Dying Light
Meh.
2. I didn't see anything of Dying Light 2. Did
looks good.
they showed more
But-
gameplay of it?
I don't think they showed it during E3, but they showed it before E3, and Dying Light has looked good. I mean, the first one's really fun if you haven't played it. It's really enjoyable, and this second one just looked like they're adding like all the good features of the first one to this. So I think it's something I'd play.
Yeah. Battlefield 2042, we talked about. The Outer Worlds 2, we talked about. Redfall, we talked about. Halo, talked about. Babylon Fall, what is that? Babylon is the latest game by famed studio Platinum Games. Did you guys see
Platinum
anything?
Games makes good games, but this just looks like another JRPG.
Okay.
It looks just like Final Fantasy to me.
I saw Godfall is coming to older consoles now.
God,
That's-
oh
yeah.
which one's that one?
The one that flopped, that was supposed to be like a PS5 opening
Oh,
thing.
that's yeah. There's just some
Strangers of
games that
Paradise,
come
Final
out.
Fantasy Origin.
They need to stop with these
Yeah.
long ass names. These names for these Final Fantasy games. Like,
Final
come
Fantasy,
on, man.
Realm Reborn.
Jeez.
Guardians of the Galaxy looked interesting to me until I saw the gameplay, and I was like, it's gonna be a cool
So-
game. I don't think I'm gonna play it though.
The problem with Guardians is that it's made by Crystal Dynamics and the same team that made Avengers, and
Yeah,
Which was
if
a
they
flop.
think-
Yeah.
exactly. And if they think that people are now going to just jump to go play Guardians after what they did to Avengers, that to me was just terrible marketing. Like, there's no like they at that point, like, I get that they have the IP and there's contracts and stuff like that. You just can't do, because they're still trying to fix Avengers and they're still trying to get people to play Avengers. They just released something that I thought was pretty cool, or like are going to release. They're going to release the Black Panther. Like, he's going to have like his own storyline stuff. But even that, and it's going to be completely free. Like, you don't have to pay for it, which is their way of trying to be like, hey guys, we're sorry. Even that, and everyone knows how much I love Black Panther. Even that won't get me to go back to play that game. So like, I think for the majority of the audience who played that game when it first came out, I think they're lost. They're just gone.
Yeah.
Like, so, and for them to be like, oh, we're gonna release Guardians, it's kind of like, well, no, definitely not getting that. Like, so.
What did you guys see the Avatar game? What did you guys think of that?
Oh my god.
I didn't, but I am looking forward to that.
Are
Like,
you really? I was like,
Yes, I am.
I'm like, you are a little too late for this, man. Like, unless it comes
Yeah.
out around when the movie, because there's no, to be announced 2022. If the second one comes out and then they kind of have that on the side, sure. But at the same time, I'm like,
I'm going my
Look, I've always wanted to explore Pandora. It is like one of the best fantasy worlds out
Go
there,
to
and
Disney.
fuck that shit nonsense. But being able to explore it and being open world is such a cool thing. I hope I can ride whatever, I don't know what the names of those.
Banshee?
Banshee. If I can ride a banshee through the world, and
You
I
I'm
can
looking forward to
actually-
it.
Have you, Alan? Have you
you
rode
can
one?
ride it at Disney.
I rode one.
I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait
And it
because
breathes the one
I
that
loved
rode.
the Avatar movie, and well, the next one's did I read correctly saying
Listen,
this article saying that there was one coming out 2022, 24, 26, and 28? Is that
I'm
right?
going to
What?
listen, I'm going to go on my Avatar rant. So make sure you're done when you're done.
Like the game or the movie? What are you talking
All
about?
of
Movies.
The
all of
movies.
it.
Yeah, they're making
Uh,
movies. They're making more movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every 2 years starting next year.
He's a
Well,
liar.
we'll see. They're gonna give us next year, and
I
that is
see,
not
I
gonna.
see.
Yeah, I believe
I
the
see.
He's
same.
a
Yeah, because I was like, why did it take like 100 years to release part 2? Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
But
no.
I'm excited to have that world fleshed out if they do release that many movies, and I'm excited to see. I know this game's gonna be standalone as it says, but still being able to explore Pandora is gonna be cool. Even if it doesn't connect to the movie at all, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store. So yeah,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Alan.
Alan.
My problem, okay, first of all, is it's called Frontal Assault, which means I'm probably not even going to be able to play as the characters I want to play as, which is the Navi. I'm probably
What?
going to have. It's
No,
called
Frontal Assault.
Frontier
Frontiers of
Assault
Pandora.
or whatever it's called. I don't care. I'm pretty
Frontal
sure they're not
Assault,
going to let
what?
me play. They're not going to let me play the characters I want to play, which is going to upset me anyway, right? Because I don't want to play with
You're
the
probably
military
making
people.
your own Navi.
What?
You're probably gonna make your own Navi.
No, I'm going to make an avatar, which is going to invade the Navi world. It's just, I don't want that. Okay, so that's one. And when you watch Avatar again, it's not as good as you remember it. I'm just saying. But also, James Cameron, I'm sick of you. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. Yes, you
What's with
came out
y'all
with my
and,
favorite-
and taking shots
Listen,
at people, man?
Listen,
we need
listen to me. James Cameron, even though you came out with arguably some of the best sequels ever, including the best sequel ever, Terminator 2. But that's not the point. You did this thing where he bashed Marvel movies. he bashed all these things and that we should, movies should just be like one and done. And then now you're coming out with like 6 avatars. And then on top of that, you're like, oh, well, the technology's not ready for Avatar 2. Oh, yeah? Why not? Why is it not ready? I saw Infinity War. Thanos looked ready to me. So if you can't do anything better than that, maybe you should stop.
I would like to take back what I just said a couple minutes ago. I will now jump on the bandwagon of Alan.
Exactly.
Because I didn't know
I'm
this
tired of James Cameron because this is the things that he does, and it's really annoying. And then now we literally every time the release date for Avatar 2 comes out, he's always like, "Oh well, the technology's not ready." Like, so when's it going to be ready, James? When's it going to be ready? When? Just when? I know what it is. He's got a bad movie. He's scared, and he knows it's not going to do nothing that the Avengers did, and that's why he's scared for it to come out because he knows it's not going to do any of the numbers.
Too high.
Yeah, he doesn't know. It's not going to do any of the numbers that Avatar, the first Avatar, did. And we see through your pettiness when you try to release Avatar, the first one, so that it could retake over the numbers.
That was petty as
Endgame
hell, wasn't it?
and on top of that, he only did it in China because he knew no one was going to come see it here. So that, you see, James Cameron, I'm on to you. I'm on to you. I'm on to you.
I can see. I just want to see Alan in the executive room and be like, "Hey, the boss couldn't be here today, so they hired this guy. He needs to ask you a couple questions for your next movie, or for the movie, and we really need a release date." And just sit there. When's it coming, James? When's it coming?
I'm tired of James Cameron, man. This really irks me. It gets that vein right here, that one that's right here, just gets me, like, it gets my blood boiling. He annoys me. And Scorsese's starting to do the same thing, but I still love you. But I got my eye on you too.
Next thing is Elden Ring. That looked kind of cool. Yeah. I'm not big on it right now, so I'm like, probably not a game I'm gonna pick up. I'm
here for it. Even though you see, here's another.
That horse thing was crazy. I was like, what the heck? Like, I pressed the rewind button. I was like, did I see that right?
The directing art on it is going to be fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it is going to be a Souls-like, which, kind of will be off-putting for most people. But the fact that this is going to have kind of a fleshed out story is going to be really nice. George R.R. Martin, that's the next person I have a tiny beef with, but we'll talk later, George. I'm not gonna bash you today because you still gave me Game of Thrones, even though you're not giving me my last book that we wanted forever. But whatever, I'll let that slide for right now. But I think that's an exciting game though, because the art style on that game is absolutely bonkers. Like, that dragon was amazing. Like the horse thing was amazing, and to have those two.
It's a goat.
Yeah, well, goat. I don't even know what it is. It's
a goat.
Everything about it is just it's very. I know a lot of people are excited for it. It's coming out multi-platform, and to have those two minds like come together to come up with this like kind of a story, I think it's going to do Dark Souls like. I think it's going to do the Dark Souls genre better than anything else if they can just get the gameplay to match any of those Dark Souls, because I feel like Dark Souls, even though as like, I guess, revolutionary as it was, I think one of the biggest issues is that you had to go a little too deep for a story. Mm-hmm. Like, you had to go into too many crevices for the story kind of thing. And then if you give that kind of a fleshed out story, which this plans on giving it, is going to be like the perfect touch for it. So I'm kind of excited. I do want to play it. So
I don't like punishing games, so yeah. I'll probably watch people play it, and then if there's something about it that really captures my attention, then I might get it. But I mean, I always thought that Dark Souls, Demon Souls would be a great open world game, and it seems like this is going to be it. It makes me wonder if there's actually even the same universe, like same continent, same planet. That'd be cool, but. Yeah,
I'm in the same boat as Yendi. What was the game that we saw that, like, I always forget the name, but I was watching it with you, Alan, whenever we watched an Xbox thing, and it was the arrow, the guy that shot the arrow, and it's just like going through all the scenes, and then it falls into like a pit hole, and there's like a skeleton.
You're talking about? Yes. Hold on. Okay, we'll talk about it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Another thing before we talk about Nintendo, because the next day we're gonna go into Nintendo. Is Sea of Thieves. I was kind of happy about it. I saw Sea of Thieves, got into it with with Pirates of the Caribbean, and I for the longest time, I like as soon as the clip started, I was like, Pirates of the Caribbean. I was like, but they're not gonna do it. They wouldn't do that. And then I saw the silhouette of Jack Sparrow. I was like, I mean, I feel like they're gonna troll me, and it's gonna be like a pirate with like just weird dreads and whatever, right? And then I hear the voice, and I was like, are you serious? And then he shows up, and I was like, what? So I might be jumping in to Sea of Thieves.
That's the only thing that was keeping me away from Sea of Thieves. There's no story. It was just a very repetitive, kind of boring, but very beautiful game that you could just play with friends. But there's not a lot of substance to it. There's no meat to it.
It was cool.
There's no reason for me to come back. But now that there's a story, that's really cool.
Yeah, you'll get to fight the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, they go into the whenever you die, I know whenever you're like in that ghost world and you're stuck in the ship, like Davy Jones's locker and everything, like they're gonna explore that world more too. So which is gonna be awesome. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna jump back in.
That game is crossplay.
And it's on Game Pass.
Yep.
But all right, so what do you guys say? Okay, so going into Nintendo, Yendi, I know you didn't really watch the show because we all know how you feel.
I didn't watch it at all. Period.
So I'll get Alan's.
I don't waste my time anymore.
Alan, what did you think?
Rehash bullshit.
What do you think of Nintendo? Nintendo's E3.
Listen, Nintendo. I'm not gonna completely bash it. Okay, I'm going to say that I think they had a pretty decent showing.
It was better than what we saw a couple months ago.
Yes, Breath of the Wild was a nice. I think Mario Party. I think anytime you come out with new Mario Party stuff, you're doing, the genre itself justice, because I do love Mario Party games. I just think they're fun. I always no matter how many times, I always want to come back to playing a Mario Party game. I just think they're fun. WarioWare is a dope one. For the JRPGs though, Shin
Megami Tensei,
is a big one, because that was a game nobody thought was coming back, but we should have gotten the hint of it because they just came out with 3, the remaster of 3. So so it makes sense. Fatal Frame, which is one of my favorite horror games, coming back, I think is a nice touch. Advance Wars, if anybody played Game Boy
I've never played it, and this is gonna be the time I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah,
so I was very interested.
I think they did some nice things, but like we said earlier in the show, I felt like they left everyone with a bad taste in their mouth. So with the whole not showing the Pro, kind of hinting at a Metroid, I was happy with, because seeing any Metroid news makes me happy. So this makes me really happy because I feel like Metroid 4 is going to come out. But also they're saying that this might be Samus's last game. So that being a thing, the new one, the Dread one, might be Samus's last game. So that makes me kind of think, which direction that game is going to go in. But besides that, I think Nintendo, like I said, besides the whole getting everyone upset because they're not coming out with the Pro, at least showing us it now, and probably showing us I'm surprised they didn't show us anything on Pokemon, which was kind of interesting.
I think it's all these directs that they want to do. I think they like doing the surprises.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what we talked about earlier with E3, is that they're going to have these, because Nintendo realizes we don't have to go through E3 anymore. Yep. We don't need that. We have our own platform. People can watch us on that. So I think Nintendo kind of played it really safe. They were like, let's just give everyone what they want. Breath of the Wild 2 was one of the things that they want. We'll give them a new Mario Party, and we'll give them something Metroid, and everyone's going to be fine, which most people are fine with that. Most people are, that's enough. And then the biggest one, though, that I was really excited was Kazuya coming to Smash Brothers. And the only reason why
that's my buddy really, Manny too. Yeah, shout out to Manny.
The reason why that's really exciting is because now you have 3 different fighting games in Smash. You have Street Fighter, you have Final Fight, because you have Terry Bogard, and now you have Kazuya. And that's the first time those 3 have been in the same game. So the fact that Smash is the game that those 3 are finally in the same game together is really interesting, and I think it's awesome that you can play as a Tekken character in Smash Bros.
Also, shout out to Sakurai, man. Every time I see that man right?
Dude,
I love him, but I felt so bad. Like he sits there with the stare of just like, I haven't slept in years. And it got to the point, I don't know if you felt that awkwardness, but he had a whole bunch of Switch Pro controllers on his desk. And he's like, oh yeah, we're going to be announcing the guy later on. And he picks up the controller. He's like, we haven't even recorded it yet. Yeah. And I was like, huh? I was like, what?
No, but
I was
he's known for those weird kind of things.
I know, but we were just I know, but we
I like that he plays into it now, though. Like he knows what he is, and he just enjoys himself.
It's so funny. And then he's just like, the date's on the screen. We'll talk about it later. I was like, all right, man, great. Me personally, I enjoyed the Nintendo show a lot. Me and my wife watched it, and you can ask my wife. I was yelling at the TV a lot. I was excited for a lot of things, even though it's the same IP. Don't care. I like the I liked whenever they showed Mario Party. I like that it's all under one bundle. I really think that they have decided, like with the Mario All Stars game, that they know people are going to buy these bundles together. So it leaves me hopeful for the future that there will be eventually a Legend of Zelda one with the maybe a Toon Link series or something like that. We'll get a bundle pack. I enjoyed it a lot. One of the biggest news for me was that it was going to be online, and you can play Mario the 64 games with your friends. And a lot of my friends aren't big into gaming. We usually just try to get together once every couple months to do a board game night. So I feel like that's going to change. Advance Wars, I am excited for. I'm going to try it because I've heard so much about that game. Mario Golf, they showed more of that, and that is on my list. I am definitely going to get it at this point. It looks great. I will be streaming it. What was another one, man? And then WarioWare. WarioWare was the one that I screamed at. Whenever I saw Wario's shadow, I was like, WarioWare! Like, I freaked out because I played that game so much on my DS. I played a lot. It was a little weird that he talked the whole trailer, and I was like, he just needs to do the sound effect. Don't make him talk. He doesn't need to talk. But the fact that it's going to be co-op, too, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then Metroid, and Breath of the Wild 2 looked beautiful to me. I got goosebumps whenever they showed that scene. All my anger and hate went away for that 30 seconds of seeing that.
When him going in through the sky and stuff like that.
I was like, this is what I want. Whenever I saw the islands floating and stuff like that, I was like, this is beautiful. I can't wait. That's awesome. And then I saw the date or the year, and they're hopefully get there. If not, it's okay. That's a game I'm willing to wait for. I'm just happy I finally got to see something. In all of that, did you have anything on Nintendo, Yendi?
I am excited for Breath of the Wild too. Didn't finish the first one. I got to the third.
That's the issue with that game. A lot of people haven't finished that game. Like it took me. I remember I put 10 hours into the game without touching the story. Like I kept running around. I just kept getting sidetracked. I was like, "What's over there? What?" Saw a dragon in the sky. I was like, "What's that?" Yeah, but I loved it. I loved it.
It was the first time that a Zelda game was open world. So to me, I was like, "Oh, there's surely you can't go there, right?" And you could, and that was the problem. Because you could climb anything. You could go anywhere you saw. And I think I was just so distracted by everything that was happening in the world, and I rarely played the story, but I did get to the third, whatever they call it, Behemoth.
Oh, okay, Behemoth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I just stopped playing the Switch for some reason. I think I got into another game, but it's not that I didn't like it. It's just I don't know, man. It's like open world fatigue. I guess.
It's a common open world thing. Like I feel like I love open world games, and like it's not even like. I'm having this issue with Biomutant, not that like I just feel like
I still haven't opened that game. It's still on my desktop.
I feel like because there's so much to do, like I could be attacking, and I kind of trying to train myself to just do the main mission. But then even then, it's just like I just kind of want to go to the side, and I don't finish a lot of open world games because of that. Like, and if the story is not like strong enough, not saying like because honestly. Zelda's story is always the same, right? It never actually changes. It's always the same kind of thing.
Oh, well, that's weird from Nintendo. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, that doesn't mean the games aren't great. It's just but that is what happens with what's gonna happen, like for sure. But I mean, when you do that with I'm just saying in open worlds in general, if it doesn't do that for you, like Like, you know what I mean? If it doesn't give you a story like Witcher did, where I'm like, I need to know what happens next, then I just get lost in the world, and I'm just like, and then I never beat it.
Also, another good thing about that game too is like your map isn't cluttered with
Yeah.
all the stuff. Like the map is just open.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I liked about it. It was just like, oh, you're gonna go find these quests and stuff like that. We kept it
Mhm.
separated. We're not gonna put it all over the map for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
but also, you know, Yendi complaining about new IPs, and then he plays a game that you just blow up buildings and shoot people all the time, and they've been doing the same thing for years. But you know,
That sounds familiar.
and then
Call of Duty.
they
Call
add
of
a
Duty.
they add storms and weather, and he's like, "What happened to my falling buildings?" Bitch.
I need more debris. I need it.
Touche.
All right.
That's
Anyway,
a good one.
so we are at the end of the show. Real quick, if I can, what are your top 5? If you have them, if you don't have 5, that's okay. From E3 that you are ready for, we'll go ahead and start with Alan.
5, well, I'm ready for Redfall for sure. Give me that tomorrow, today, and in the next 2 hours if you want to. I'm ready for it. Starfield, I really intrigued just by the pictures, things like that. I want it. Halo, obviously, like, come on, just give me Halo, man. Like, I need it. Like, I just now, like, that trailer just gave, like, I told my brother who I play, we used to play Halo 3 like heavy. I was just like, yo, we have to go back in. Like, yeah, like it brought that back. Like, you know what? Every time Halo just does that, it was like I need to come back, right? So then, what else? We had what else game we had?
We have Back for Bloods. We
And,
have
yeah, back. I am excited for Back for Blood because it's it is coming to day one Xbox, so I am excited for that. And I think that's about it for me, to be honest.
all right. Yendi, what
Right,
about
for
you?
For me, let's see. We're gonna go with Starfield, definitely one. Skyrim in space sounds like a thing I would like. La 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 la.
Outer
Obviously,
Worlds?
Battlefield.
Well, Outer Worlds, they haven't
Battlefield
showed anything.
2042.
Yeah, Battlefield.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about Halo. Avatar. That's one of mine. So that's 3.
You are the most
And then
confusing person
on
on
the
right,
freaking
How-
earth.
right. Look,
Av-
I like the world. I like the world.
I mean,
Nothing
on
to do with the movie.
Halo,
I like the world.
but
Far Cry 6 is my
Oh, good
fourth
one.
one. And then probably Mario Party. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that shit. Probably Breath of the Wild 2.
Nice.
You're gonna
I
pick
gotta
up your
use that
Switch again?
Yeah.
Well, Pokemon's coming out this fall, so I'll probably be
This
playing
fall?
that. There. Yeah,
That's
the
what we
first
said.
one.
That's why I
Oh,
think
I'm thinking of the open world. I'm sorry. That's next year,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Early next year, they said January 21st.
No,
okay.
they didn't.
Yeah,
They
that's
didn't
what
say
said.
that.
January 21st is what I saw, unless I'm confusing it with a different game.
I think you're confusing with a different game. There's no chance they said that. Anyway,
Oh,
well,
so-
you look it up while I'm doing this. For my top 5, we're going. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Starfield. All right, obviously. Halo, Battlefield. Wait, what did I say? Starfield, Halo, Battlefield. That's 3.
January 28th, 2022, baby.
That's crazy. Redfall. No, actually, I'll take Redfall off the list. I don't know too much about it, and I'm excited for it, but I don't normally play those games. So instead, I'm gonna put in Mario Party. I'm very excited for Mario Party and Breath of the Wild 2. So, like I said, I was very happy with Nintendo's thing. I was happy with Xboxes. We'll see what happens with Sony. We're not expecting too much, man. My expectations are low up until next year where, things are slowly starting to open back up. But yeah, that's going to do it for us, guys. We thank you guys so much for watching and for being with us for 20 episodes. And we hope that you continue to be with us throughout this time that we're doing this. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But
Throughout our journey.
Yeah, do you guys have any closing thoughts?
No,
No.
yeah, I mean, just we'll probably have multiple videos this week because Chris and I might hopefully do the Loki videos.
Yeah, I gotta go.
So
I'm
we
about to
kind of
get
want
off
to
and
do.
go watch it.
Yeah, he needs to,
We'll do
get
episode
on
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
1 and 2, and then I kind of want to do one every week so that we do like an episode because I mean it's only 6. So yeah,
Yeah,
Chris, get on that.
I know. I know.
Black Magic says he'll be here to episode 69, and then
Yeah,
he'll
nice.
stop. Oh, and I do have something. I do want to get these guys together so we can do something live or
Yes.
just like record something. We're all vaccinated now. We're good to go. So we could totally just get
5G!
together one of these days. 5G.
Our connection is going
My
to be
computer's much faster now. Extra processing power. But yeah, maybe in the future we'll have some video of us in person together. But we'll try to work something out. Hopefully we can do that soon. So
Yeah, but again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on all social medias. Make sure to click that the Linktree link to follow us. If you want to be on the show, please hit us up at any time. And yeah, until next time, guys, we love you all. And Fire Team out.